Hello everyone, it's Andrea and welcome to this edition of Talks in the Car. We talk a lot about branding. People who are in business, people who do media content, people who are authors, who are into music. We are always talking about branding and building our brand. What exactly is branding? Branding means that you are developing something that represents you, that represents the product, that represents what you are trying to distribute for others to see. And so people take a lot of time to look at their logos, to look at their color schemes, to look at the content that they are putting out, to look at the various places where they place their content. Why? Because that brand represents who they are. It represents what they're trying to convey. It represents all the work that they have put into putting out the content that they want to share. But in saying all of that, and while it's important to work hard on your brand, particularly if you are in a place where you are looking to have an income or to add to your income using various vehicles, it's important that your brand be on point. It's important that your brand stands out. It's important that your brand represents what you're trying to convey. But again, in saying that, we spend a lot of time on the branding of things, the branding of businesses. But how much time do we spend on our first brand? And our first brand is us. How much time do we spend making sure that the brand us is representing well, is conveying what we want it to convey, is saying what we want it to say, it is representing what we want it to represent? As much time as we spend on the color schemes and the content and the media image of our superficial or our work brand, let's say that, we should be spending that same amount of time making sure that the brand that we call us is at that same top level. So what does that mean? Are we conveying to those who are watching us, conveying to those that we speak to, conveying to those that are in our circles what we want it to be said, what we want people to think of us, what we want our content to look at us? Is our integrity in line with the brand that we're trying to convey? Is our speech, is even our appearance, is our appearance in alignment with what we are trying to convey to others? Now, in some circumstances, should we care what people say? If people don't like this particular dress, if people don't like that particular haircut, that particular suit, those particular sneakers, what we like, should we really care? In the broader sense, no. Because everybody has their likes and their dislikes, and what they want to wear, what they want to put on that maybe others don't like, and that's very true. But on the flip side of that, is our character being conveyed in what we put on? If I were to come on to you today and I were to have on a outfit where it was cut very low, or if I was wearing something super tight, or if my makeup was overly heavy, if I was conveying something that is different than my words to you, is my brand, Andrea, really conveying the message that I want to convey? And should it matter? To an extent, yes, it should matter what I wear, what I say, how I carry myself. It should matter if my brand is trying to convey the love of God, trying to convey the love of Christ. If I am trying to convey things of the world, then yes, I can mimic some of the things that the world does. But if my main brand is trying to convey the love of Christ, if it's trying to convey the character of Christ, if it's trying to convey the type of woman that makes God proud, that makes God smile, then I need to be mindful of what I put on. I have to be mindful of what comes out of my mouth. I have to be mindful of what I respond to, what I agree with, what I co-sign onto, what I don't speak on. All of those things bring about the brand Andrea, the brand of child of God Andrea, who I want to be, who I desire to be, who God has called me to be. And so I need to be very, very mindful of what I am putting out there, what I am sharing, how I am sharing. Why? Because people are watching, people are listening, and we all need to be very, very concerned about that. What does our image say? Are we representing the God that we say that we serve? Are we representing the brand Jesus? And are we representing who Jesus has called us to be? And if we're not, maybe it's time to make some changes to our brand. Even in business, in books, and in different things, sometimes you change your logo. Sometimes you change your colors. Sometimes you change the image and the presentation of your brand in order to tap into a different genre, in order to tap into a different audience. And we have to be mindful of that. You know, sometimes an author will write a book, and when they come out with the second edition, while that content of the book may be the same, the cover may be different. They may have a different logo on the book. They may have a different color scheme. They may have a different picture. Why? Because they are looking to make a change. They are looking to tap into something different. They are looking to re-expose themselves and make things different. So I encourage you on today to look at your brand. The brand called you. The brand called Andrea. The brand called whatever your name is. Look at your brand. Look at what you're standing for. Look at that image. Look at that picture and decide whether or not you are on the right path. Do you need to rebrand? Do you need to start over? Do you need to make some changes in order to represent in the manner that God will be happy with, and then in a manner that will make you proud? Those things are important. Those things are what will stand. People will look. People may not always say something. People may not always speak on something, but people are looking. People are paying attention. People are observing, and people are looking to see whether or not what you stand for or what you say you stand for is in alignment with your actions, is in alignment with your words, is in alignment with how you treat people, is in alignment with your worship, is in alignment with all of those things that represent the love of Christ. So look at your brand, look at you, and make sure that what you want to convey is being conveyed in the way, once again, that makes Jesus proud and that will also make you proud. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, and we will see you next time on Talks in the Car.